Using your business to give back today on the Blue Collar Proud Show. Hey there, Proud Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show, the show that's all about having and living the blue collar business dream. If you can dream it, you can build it. And Taylor and I want to be along for that journey of your success. Thanks so much for tuning in every single week. My name is Carter Harkins, and across the table, almost spitting distance, is Taylor Hill.
Yeah, but don't spit.
Poking distance, then.
I like that. Every once in a while, I'm hearing this. Yeah. Sorry, ladies.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm excited about this particular show.
It is. It's going to be a good one.
We talk a lot about just running your business and all that kind of stuff. But I love businesses that are able to give back. And I say able because not everybody can, and I get that. But man, there's just something when you get to a certain place, if you can give back to your community, to your industry, it just makes you feel good.
Yeah. We say at the top, right there at the top of our book, Blue Collar Proud, it's not the subtitle of the book. The subtitle is 10 Principles to Build a Kick-Ass Business You Love. But there's right at the top of the book, it says, the world needs you to be strong.
Yep.
And that is like the sort of the undercurrent of everything that we do here with Blue Collar Proud. I mean, it's not just about growing a business you can be proud of. It's about using the strength of a well-built business to change the world.
Yes.
And we want to be a part, we want to create the community and be a part of a community of blue-collar world changers. People who have built businesses that are so strong they can use the strength of that business to bring good things to their community, to take care of the people around them, and make a positive contribution to the world, create the world they want to see by using their business to do it. That's a foundational part of what we care about. So when we do episodes like this, it's not just to promote a specific charity, although we're certainly going to do that today. It's also about helping you understand the value of using your business that way.
Yeah, and I think too, there are several different ways that you can do this. You can certainly associate yourself with a charity organization in your community, a charity organization that serves maybe in something that your family or somebody has been touched with. But also, I've seen some things that companies just do individually, that their techs kind of always have their radars up for someone who may be elderly or someone who may not have the means at the time, but it has an emergency, that they nudge the owner and say, hey, can we do this? And the owner steps in and says, absolutely. So there's so many different ways to help in your community. And so what I want to encourage everybody today to keep their antennas up.
Yeah.
And I'll talk a little bit about something that we've recently done here that I think is a result of that, along with some of the charity things that we do, just to kind of give you examples. This is not about patting us on the back and saying, oh, look what we do. It's more of saying, hey, guys, look what you can do.
Yeah. And as well as talk about the benefits, right? The strategy of being charitable as a business strategy. It's pretty powerful.
It is powerful. But you know what? I've never thought about being involved with the charity for the business benefit.
Well, I don't think that's the reason you do it.
Yeah, but you have to understand there are benefits to it. Yeah. And I think it's good to know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get into the specifics, though, of a particular charity. And we're wearing the shirts today. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. National Chimney here on the front, but where is it? There it is. It's on that sleeve. Sweep Away Cancer. For most of you in the chimney industry that listen to our show regularly, you're aware of Sweep Away Cancer. For those of you who aren't a part of the chimney industry, it's a great charity that we're proud to be a part of. And it supports a cause that touches a lot of people. And in fact, it's touched us personally. And so, Taylor, I want to just ask you just wrote an article recently, but you have a personal story about cancer in your family. And I want you to just share that as kind of a prelude to what we're going to talk about.
You know, it's interesting. Up until 4 years ago, the only people in my entire family that suffered from cancer was a great uncle and aunt he was stationed right outside of, in Nevada, outside of Las Vegas when they did all the nuclear testing during World War II. So both he and his wife passed away of cancer. And so the rest of the family was just like, yep, that made sense. A lot of people under those circumstances. And then August 18th, 4 years ago, my mom went in for knee surgery through a blood clot. And then through subsequent days, discovered that she had stage 4 lung cancer. We were all shocked. Including her.
Yeah.
She was absolutely shocked. She thought she had, that the pain in her hips and in her pelvic region all came from that doggone knee that she had hurt several years before. And really because of the history of heart disease and stroke, she had always been afraid of having a stroke and end up in a wheelchair like my grandmother had been, for years and years. Just cancer has no rhyme or reason to it. And that's really the first time. Because my mother never smoked a day in her life. And she's got this rare lung cancer. I mean, it's like only 1% of 5% of people with lung cancer have this particular type of lung cancer. And she went really, really quickly. I mean, she passed away September 6th. And so that's quick, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at a calendar, that's...
Oh, it was fast.
Yeah, it was really, really fast. Which in some ways, for her and for us, I think we're good. But it just shows you that you never know when cancer is going to affect you. And it's a really good lesson of empathy as well. Because up until that point, I knew people, that had cancer, but I didn't understand how quickly and how devastating it can be to the body. So that was an eye-opener to me. So when we as a company had that, were asked to do the website and to actually facilitate that and work on the website for Sweep Away Cancer, it was a slam dunk. I mean, there was no question.
Yeah.
And
it was alignment between what our personal experiences, our personal ties to the devastating effects of cancer on a family, as well as what we could do to help. I mean, there was a good alignment there.
And the fact that we have a lot of clients in that industry, and also through the years, there have been, I'd like to say one, but there've been way more than one.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah, way too many that have either had the sweeps themselves or someone in their families that have been having to deal with cancer of some sort. And what I really want to encourage people is to find their story, because I've got mine. But I know that cancer has affected so many. I mean, just in our office, it's amazing. Everybody here has either had a friend or family member that's been affected in some way. And I know in the industry that Sweep Away Cancer is supporting, that there's so many there as well. And I want to really encourage people to find their story and to start sharing that story. Because if you don't share your story, even if it's hard, because mine's hard. I mean, I still tear up at times when I think about my mom and how quick and everything that happened and how unexpected it was. And the fact that her husband, my stepdad, is a physician, and he missed it. Just nobody's looking for it. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. Sometimes being vulnerable will open up doors to really share and have other people share with you, and I think that's important to do that. So I encourage people to find their story.
I think the story becomes a way of finding what they can choose as a charity to support in their business. It's those things that I care about, right? If I have pets, if I enjoy animals, maybe it's an animal-related charity that I can get involved with. If my business is a plumbing business, Plumbers Without Borders, or there's we look for those alignments, that work between our story, our business, and the needs that we see in our community. Yeah. Because that's where the synergy stays. That's where the energy for doing the task and for staying engaged with that kind of charity work really belongs. Let's talk about culture for a minute, because that plays a role too in what you choose to do and how you choose to interact with your community in a charitable way. And for us, that's just come in some surprising ways. We our marketing company, we have clients all over the United States. So there's nothing particularly local about what we do.
Right.
Here in our city of Nashville, where we're located. We have employees that are in various places. But we recently discovered a need and just somebody in our community that had a need. And it was amazing how quickly we were able to jump in and help that person meet that need. And it was fun. I mean, I don't think we have to get into too many specifics, but tell the story about how we discovered this particular need and what we were able to do.
Well, I get up every morning and I take about a 20 or 30-minute walk around my neighborhood. And over the last couple of months, there's an elderly lady in my neighborhood that probably 50% of the time that I walk by is sitting out with her dogs. And I'm a dog lover, and so I always go by and I've waved and asked if the dogs are friendly, and she said yes. So I love on the dogs a little bit, and then I've been going on my way. And then just one day she came out and she started asking me some questions about what I do, and I found out that her daughter actually last December passed away of cancer, and that she just didn't have anybody. So one day I just asked her, I said, what do you need? Is there anything that you really need that you're not able to get or have done around the house or anything? I'm just curious. And she had a problem with rain getting on her brand new painted porch. And she wasn't able to get out there and sit on her porch when it rained because she just got flooded from this one side. So I just brought it to one of our meetings, and I said, is this something you guys might want to tackle? My wife had said she would help solve the problem as well, and we thought of several different things. And so Marilyn ordered some outdoor curtains that would fit the kind of the, I don't know what you call the outside of a house, the color and whatever, so it'd be pretty. And but we were going on vacation. And I just said, well, this is what I think would work. Could you guys take care of this? And by the time I got back from vacation, the team had gotten together, figured out what they needed to do, how to measure it, got it installed, painted it, did everything. And she stopped me the other day and said, oh my gosh, your people were so nice. Thank you so much. That one was so handsome, looked like that movie star. Then there was one that came out and just talked like crazy, and the tall one. And she was very, very excited. And I could tell she's really lonely. She doesn't have a lot of people out there. And just in conversation with our leadership team a couple of weeks ago, they've kind of decided that when we do things as a group, we want to include her and just bring her with us as a group. So she's 85 years old, or I should say 85 years young. Would love to have a part-time job doing something somewhere as he wants to get out. So it really was, I just asked the question. I mean, she's a lovely person. And so a lot of times is just finding out, just being willing to find out what's the need. And it's not a big deal. It wasn't a huge thing. It probably cost less than $200 to do that for somebody. We're not going to get any business from it, not one iota. But the culture of caring,
it matters. And it was something that everybody on our team said, yeah, let's do that. And there was excitement about it and a willingness to jump in, to bring a solution to a problem outside of the normal scope of what problems we normally solve for people and get paid to do. And it was fun, and there was excitement about it. I didn't get to participate, but I saw the pictures, and it was so just awesome to see how our people rallied around that and participated in that. And I think that's one of the benefits, the unintended consequences, if you will, of charitable giving and being tuned, like you said, keeping your antenna up to look for opportunities.
But you will get to participate because they've already voted that when we do Fire Pit Fridays, she's coming.
Awesome. So, as a culture building thing, that's people want to belong to companies that prioritize charity, that prioritize giving back, and especially today. And younger generation, that's an important factor. In fact, it's listed in the top 10 reasons that employees choose or candidates choose a particular company. So making sure that that's a part of what you do and why you do it. Giving back is something that good employees look for, and they stick around because companies are invested in their communities.
Well, I also think if you're a service business, and there's this thing in me that says, I love great technicians. I want a really good technician to fix my house, but more so than that, I want somebody with a heart of service. And I think we don't look for those people. I know with our marketing business, because our client base is service-oriented, we made a decision that we wanted service-oriented employees. That we want a team of service-oriented, focused people. Because when you have that, then they are more focused on our customer than they are on themselves.
In fact, we have a form on our website that's a screening form for any applicant that they have to fill out in order to provide us their resume. And on the online form, we ask 2 questions. And the first question we ask is, can you give any examples of service activities or projects that you've been involved in? And because we want to know, does that matter to you? And if it matters to you, then you're not going to have any problem at all being able to recount that and tell us about it. And the way you talk about what you've done oftentimes helps us understand if you do have that sort of heart of service that you talked about.
Absolutely. That
orientation towards being of service.
So if you're an owner of a service business, and we are, then to me it breaks the code of ethics if you're not serving others. If you're not going an extra mile or asking questions how you can help, what can you do? And we've talked about this before. When you're out on a job, it's one thing to just do the job. That's the least of what anybody expects, because they're paying you for that. If you can go one step above and see a need and say, is this something we can help you with? Or if you've given an estimate and there's a system that is critical to that family in order to heat their home or cool their home. Sometimes there's been so many deaths for heat this year, it's really amazing. To cool their home, and they can't afford to get it fixed, then getting people involved, that's one of the things. If you haven't listened to the Plumbers Without Borders episode, one of the things that they did is get the manufacturers involved in doing some donations. There were some things around the I don't remember the episode. We'll put it in the show notes.
We'll link to all the different charitable episodes that we've done, because we've done one on Warrior Horse as well. We'll talk about them here in a minute. But
the water situation in
Flint, Michigan.
In Flint, Michigan was another one that they got manufacturers involved. So there are other things that you can do if you see a need. That the burden's not totally all on you. And I think it's important to start understanding that you can critically think through some of these things. Who can help? And ask that question. Who can I reach out to that might be able to help me in this particular circumstance to get this done? And I think those are the things that as business owners we need to do more of, and include other people in the possibility of helping others.
So let's talk we've talked about Sweep Away Cancer, which is certainly a worthy organization to support. And if you're interested in supporting it, if you're in the chimney sweeping, chimney services industry, and you're thinking about supporting them anyway, then certainly do that. We'll have a link to the show notes where you can, straight to the Shop for a Cure page on the website, where you can donate any amount of money that you want, or you can even purchase some swag type items like this T-shirt that we're wearing right now. They've got koozies and as well, so we'll have a link in the show notes for that. But let's also talk about another charity that we're associated with, also a chimney sweep, but his focus is not specifically in the chimney sweep industry. He's helping veterans who come back from on active combat duty with PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder, and they're suffering. And a lot of these guys commit suicide. In fact, it's a pretty alarming number of them that come back from their responsibilities in the field of battle and are struggling just to reintegrate into normal activities, normal life. And some of them don't make it. Right. He's got an amazing organization that takes horses that are also suffering from PTSD from their time on the racetrack. I don't know if you know this, but when a horse is a racehorse, they don't get to live a normal life. They don't get to just hang out on the pasture and be a horse. They're pushed very hard to perform. And so when they're retired and no longer race, they get put out to pasture, but they don't know what to do with themselves. They can't be horses. And so they've got to learn how to be a horse again. And so you got this soldier who needs to learn how to be a human being again. And you got this horse that needs to learn how to be a horse again. And you put those two together and help them figure it out together. And it's a truly amazing process that they go through, and they find themselves again. And both of them are whole. And it's really cool. Kevin Russell is his name. The name of his organization is Warrior Horse. He's about to open up the doors to the public. We've supported him in his pre-launch days, and in January he's going to have his new stable, his new riding arena, and everything that he needs to be able to really start serving soldiers, and that's just exciting. So we're looking forward to supporting him and what's going on there. If you want to learn more about that as well, we'll link to the Warrior Horse website in this episode so that you can learn about that and support it. Whether you support these or you support other ones in other industries, we encourage you to be charitably active with your business.
Yes.
A business is a tool to help you get what you want in your life, but it can also be a tool to help others get what they need and what they want to. Always look for a way to leverage your business that way. And I don't think there's anything else we got to say about this particular topic in this particular episode.
The only thing I do want to say is just remember that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And even if you're not in the chimney industry, if you want to support them going into October, this is their big month. I know Kevin's comes up in January.
Right.
And October is the big month for Sweep Away Cancer, so we want to make sure that if you want some swag, we'll put the link in there. You can go shop. These are long sleeve black and pink kind of cool shirts. But just, support each other and support the charities and the people that matter, people that need you. And because let me tell you, you guys, the trades, we talk about all kinds of things, but you guys are the backbone of this country. You're the backbone of the infrastructure that we have. We need you.
Need you to be strong. All right. If you'd like to let us know how we're doing, we would love it if you'd take a minute and leave us a review in iTunes. The more reviews we have there means that we are able to serve more listeners. So if you've received value from what we do for you, we'd love it if you'd pay us back with a review over in iTunes. Thank you so much. Also, don't forget you can download our free show app. It's available in the Apple App Store. It's also available in Google Play. Great content in the app. Every week when we release a new episode, you get a little alert on your phone that lets you know it's ready to listen to, and you can listen to it right there in the app. There's also great bonus content, video content, special offers like the one that I'm going to tell you about right now for Closing Commander. It's the app that helps you turn that pile of open estimates in your business, turn it into cash in your bank account and automate that process. We've had users that have been using it for less than 6 months and have already added more than 6 figures to their bottom line, to their revenue in their business, right into their bank account, simply by letting this app run and do what it does. All they have to do is enter in the customer's name, phone number, email address, and a short description about the bid or the estimate to remind you what it's about, and the system does the rest. It emails the customer on a regular schedule and presents the opportunity to just say, hey, I'm following up. Wanted to see if you had any questions for me, or if you're ready to go ahead and get that work scheduled. Just let me know when you get a chance. And it is amazing how many customers say, thank you so much for following up with me. I really appreciate it. I do have a question. Here it is. And then you can start that back and forth and get more of those people closing. We are seeing over 40% increase in the number of open estimates that are closing using just by using the app. But the standard seems to be somewhere around 15%. So if you can imagine 15% of that pile in your office right now turning into revenue in your business, that would be worth quite a bit of money. So check it out at closingcommander.com. It is, we have a special offer for Blue Collar Proud Show listeners. You get your first month entirely free if you use the link in the show notes for today's episode, or you click the link in the special offers section of the Blue Collar Proud Show app. You get a month on us just for signing up using that link. Check it out now at closingcommander.com. Also want to just say, come hang out with us over in the Blue Collar Proud Nation Facebook group, would you? Ask to join. You'll be let right in over on Facebook and hang out with us. Add links to things that you think are important for blue collar business owners and service contractors to know. Let's grow that group. I really want to see that continue to grow and be a resource for all of us as we grow our businesses. And you can also find out about all the other places where you can connect with us on our website by simply going to bcpshow.com/connect. That's going to do it for this episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show. As always, Taylor and I want to thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Also want to thank the people that make this show happen every week. Tireless workers, Aaron Blaze, our technical director, Jessica Wynn, our show coordinator, and Jonathan Sanders, our community manager. Until next time, remember that it takes the same energy, the same blood, sweat, and tears to build a business that drains everything you've got as it does to take that blood, sweat, and tears and build a business you love and that you're proud of and gives you everything you want. Build it Blue Collar Proud.
The Blue Collar Proud Show is a production of the Blue Collar Proud Network.